Morning, second graders. Happy Thursday, April 9th. Today we are going to be reading word problems and using comparison bars to solve the problem. So right now I would like you to take out page 251 to 252 in your math workbook and a pencil. If this lesson goes longer than the 15 minutes, then you'll have to go back and you will have to click on the second link to get explanations on the second half. That's if this goes longer than the 15 minutes that's allowed. So go ahead and take out page 251, 252, and a pencil. All right, so our first problem says Tia has 65 rocks. Stan has 29 rocks. How many more rocks does Tia have than Stan? Well, we know that when we're writing comparison bars, we know how many Tia has. So we're going to put a T, and then we have, who's the other person? Yep, Stan, so we can put an S for Stan. Do we know how many rocks Tia has? 65, yep. If we drew out 65 circles, that would take a really long time, so we're not going to do that. But do we know how many rocks Stan has? 29, yep. So who has more, Tia or Stan? Tia, yep. So you are going to draw a rectangle next to Tia, and then inside that rectangle, you are going to put the number 65 because we know that Tia has 65 rocks. Then Stan has 29 rocks. 29 is less than 65, so we're going to put a shorter rectangle underneath by Stan, and we're going to write the number 29 inside of that because we know Stan has 29 rocks. But the question is, how many more rocks does Tia have than Stan? So next to that, I want you to draw an oval. So then your comparison bars will look like this. And inside that oval, I want you to draw a question mark. Okay? Because we want to know, here's Tia. Here's Tia. She has 65 rocks. Stan has 29 rocks. And here's our unknown. We want to know from here to here, how many more rocks does Tia have than Stan? So we can solve that two different ways. We can put our 29 and we can use our adding up method. We can go 29, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, and we get 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So we can solve it using the adding up method, or we could do 60. Oops, that might be out of your view here. Let me check. Make sure you're seeing what I'm doing. Yeah. All right. Or you could do 65 minus 29 equals what? And this answer we get should be the same answer we got here using the adding up method. So if the number on the bottom is bigger than the number on the top, I go next door and I knock, knock, knock. Is anybody home? Yep. So I'm going to ungroup of 10. This becomes a 5, and this becomes a 15. 15 minus 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I get 6. 5 minus 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I get 3. So then I know how many more rocks does Tia have than Stan? Tia has 36 more rocks. Would be my label. Go ahead and pause this if you need to finish. Or you can move along with me to problem number 2. So here I have, Dora has 27 fewer grapes than Jerry. Jerry has 72 grapes. How many grapes does Dora have? So we can start with J for Jerry. And then let's do a D for Dora. And let's fill in our information as we go. How many grapes does Dora have? You're right, we don't know. We just know that she has 27 fewer grapes than Jerry. How many grapes does Jerry have? 72. So let's do our rectangle bar. Jerry has 72 grapes, and inside our rectangle bar, let's write our 72. And then we know that Dora has fewer grapes, 27 fewer grapes. So we're going to make her comparison bar shorter because we know she has 27 less, but we don't know how many Dora has. So we're going to put a question mark in her box. And we have to figure, or here is our difference, and we know our difference is 27. Dora has 27 fewer grapes than Jerry. So how do you think we can solve to figure out how many grapes Dora has? You're right. We could use the adding up method, or we could do 72 minus 27. Let's do this one as 72 minus 27 equals what? So if I have 2, can I take away 7? Nope. I have to go next door and knock, knock, knock. My 7 becomes a 6, and my 2 becomes a 12. 12 minus 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is 5. And 6 minus 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 4. So I know then Dora has 45 grapes. 45 grapes. Okay, I could have also started at 27 and used the add up method to get up to 72. So that's kind of your choice, what works easier for you and is better for you. All right, number 3 here. We're going to do one more together, and then I'm going to have you try some on your own. Lila has 34 toy trucks in her collection, which is 18 fewer than her friend Betty has. So Lila has fewer toy trucks than her friend Betty. How many trucks does Betty have in her collection? So let's start with our people. Let's put an L for Lila and a B for Betty. Do we know how many toy trucks either Lila or Betty has? Yep, we know that Lila has 34 toy trucks. So let's put a comparison bar for Lila. And inside that comparison bar, we're going to put 34 because Lila has 34 toy trucks. We know Lila has fewer toy trucks than Betty. Betty has more. So her comparison bar is going to be longer because we know that Betty has more, but we're going to put a question mark inside of it because we don't know how many Betty has yet. But we know that Lila has 18 fewer. So let's draw our circle that goes up to here and put our 18 in it because we know the difference between 34 and here, what Betty has, is 18. So how do you think we can solve this one? Lila has 34 toy trucks in her collection, which is 18 fewer than her friend Betty. So if we look at this, we know that this plus this equals how many Betty has. So how do we solve that? You're right. We are going to do 34 plus 18 to figure out how many toy trucks Betty has. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Carry the 1. Drop the 2. Oops, the 2. 3, 4, 5. And we know that Betty has 52 toy trucks. Okay, toy truck should be spelled correctly because it is in the story problem multiple times. Pause if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to move on to problem number 4. All right, 1 year The Ricos planted 97 flowers. This was 29 more flowers than the Smiths planted. How many flowers did the Smiths plant? All right, I want you to hit pause here, and I want you to go ahead and try this on your own using comparison bars. When you are finished, or if you're confused or stuck, hit play to check your work. Make sure that if you tried it on your own and if you made a mistake that you change it. All right, here we go. Let's check your work. Remember to change it if you made a mistake and follow along to make sure that you did it correctly. We know that there are the Ricos, so I'm going to put an R for Ricos and an S for Smiths. How many total plants flowers did the Ricos plant? You're right. They planted 97. Who planted more plants, the Ricos or the Smiths? Yep, the Ricos planted more plants, so then you're going to put a comparison bar that's shorter than the 97 because we know they planted 29 fewer flowers, but we don't know how many flowers they planted. So in their comparison bar, we have a question mark because that's what we have to solve for. Then we have our oval because we know that this plus this is going to equal 97. But we need to have at least one of these pieces of information to solve the problem. So we want to know how many fewer plants the Smiths planted than the Ricos. 29, yep. So go ahead and put your 29 up there. How do you think I can solve this problem? Yep, I can do 29, the add up method. 29 plus what equals 97? Or I could do 97 minus 29. Let's go ahead and do 97 minus 29 equals what? So if the number on the bottom is bigger than the number on the top, I go next door and I knock, knock, knock. Is anybody home? Yep, let's cross out that 8, ungroup the 9. That becomes an 8, and I give that 10 I ungrouped over here, so this becomes 17. Okay, before we left school, a lot of us were having problems. We'd get this far, and then we would mess up on our simple subtraction. So be careful here. Let's pound count. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 8. 8 minus 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6. So the Smiths planted 68 flowers. So I'm going to write 68 flowers because the question asked me how many flowers did the Smiths plant? They planted 68 flowers. Pause if you need to. Make sure that when you're checking your work here, you're fixing it if you did something wrong. If you did the add up method and you got the same answer, 68, then you don't need to do it this way too. But if you did not get 68, I want you to try again and make sure you change your answer over here too. Okay, I'm going to run out of time here on this first video. So you are going to need to go back to, if I look back here, I haven't changed this yet, but you will have down here this link that you clicked on first, and then there's going to be a link number 2 for the last 4 problems or 3 problems we have. So go ahead and go back to our math page, Google page, and then click that second link to finish your math work for today.